I was recently in Washington, and a lot of people understandably asked me, hey, what do you think, Cenk? Who's going to run on the Democratic side in 2020 for president? It's a good question, and one I actually didn't have a great answer for, because when you get past Bernie Sanders, it's not entirely clear who would be the front runner. And then I thought, oh, wait, there is a guy who actually could. Oh, how about Bernie Sanders? Now, there's a reason why everyone, including me, by the way, I'll fess up to this, thought, well, no, it's not going to be Bernie Sanders. Why? Because it's conventional thinking, and I was guilty of it for a couple of months here after the election. Well, Bernie Sanders is going to be too old. Well, let's investigate that. Yes, in 2020, when the election is, Bernie Sanders will be 79, right? But Donald Trump will be 75. Hillary Clinton, oh, God forbid, will be 73. A person who's often mentioned in these conversations, Elizabeth Warren, will be 71. They're all in their 70s. Now, let me ask you something. You take Bernie Sanders at 79 or Donald Trump at 75? You take Bernie Sanders at 79 or Donald Trump at any age? I'd take Bernie Sanders at 79 or 109 over Donald Trump at any age. So, look, guys, you got to get past the old ways of thinking. And so when Bernie first started running, people were like, no, he's too liberal. No, in the old days, he's too liberal. And today, people want a progressive. They want someone who's honest. Oh yeah, he just keeps saying the same thing over and over. Yeah, you know why? Because he means it. That's not a disadvantage, that's an advantage. Oh, he looks all frumpled and his hair isn't combed. In the old days, that would have been a terrible disadvantage because all the politicians were slick and they're like, hello, everybody. Right? These days, that's a disadvantage because we know you're a phony. It's a huge advantage for Bernie Sanders. So now, again, in the conventional way of thinking, they're like, well, Bernie Sanders will be too old. Really? I mean, people live really, really long lives now. He'll pick a great vice president. 79 is not that much older than 75. Presumably the person he'll be running against is Donald Trump, although I don't know if he'll make it. So I propose that maybe the most popular politician in the country is the one we should consider the front runner. I know, wild and crazy. So let me show you a recent headline. Bernie Sanders is the most popular politician in the country, according to a poll. The Harvard-Harris survey, published first in the Hill, found almost 60% of Americans view the Vermont senator favorably. Way ahead of Donald Trump, way ahead of Hillary Clinton, way ahead of everyone else, as you'll see in a second. In fact, if you say, all right, yes, but now look, remember he lost the primary to Hillary Clinton, who, by the way, had the entire establishment behind her, had the biggest brand name in Democratic Party history, okay? And he closed a 60-point lead anyway. So you say, oh, but they have all this nonsense talking points against Bernie Sanders. Oh, he only gets white Democratic voters. Really? Well, let's look at the polling and see what happens. Among certain demographics, the progressive politicians' ratings are even higher. 80% of Democratic voters, 73% of registered black voters, 68% of registered Hispanic voters view Sanders favorably. So it turns out, no, he's doing wonderful. Even among Democrats and every kind of Democrat there is. Okay. Meanwhile, how's Hillary Clinton doing? Look, I know that we shouldn't even be having this conversation. Hillary Clinton, you already lost to Donald Trump. But people in Washington are seriously considering it. No. Let me show you her numbers now. Her numbers now sitting at 35% favorable, 55% unfavorable. Bernie's at 60%, she's at 35%. I'll do quick math for you guys. That's a 25-point lead he has on her in favorability. This is not a conversation. So there is someone who is the presumptive nominee of the Democrats, and it is very clear. I'll give you one more though. Here's another poll. They looked at, so of all places, a Fox News poll. Even Fox News has to admit, Bernie Sanders, not only the most popular politician, the most popular anything in the country. They polled both politicians and issues and organizations in politics. Bernie Sanders came in #1, plus 29 positive. By the way, Donald Trump, -9. So if it's a Sanders versus Trump race in 2020, Sanders right now has a 38-point lead on him. 38. Now that's on the Fox poll that I just showed you. And then when you just look at flat out favorability, one versus the other, 61 to 44. Even there, a gigantic 17-point lead on favorability. That doesn't even take into account the unfavorable numbers that I was mentioning earlier. So, who's the presumptive nominee for the Democrats in 2020? It's the most obvious question of all time. And by the way, I remember when Hillary Clinton was the presumptive nominee, and the entire Democratic Party told us that no one should run against her. Hey, we have a very similar situation here. Someone who is the most popular politician in the country, lucky you, he's on the Democratic side, and he just ran. Now remember, Hillary Clinton lost the primary in 2008, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. Losing a primary earlier, they still had Hillary Clinton as the presumptive nominee. She lost to Obama, so she was next up. This is not my logic. I believe in primaries. I believe everybody should run, okay, no matter who I support. But according to the Democratic Party establishment logic, Bernie Sanders would be up next, and the guy up next is incredibly popular. Lucky you, Democratic Party. So I assume that you will all now fall in line behind Bernie Sanders and tell everybody else that they shouldn't even get into the race. Let's see how that turns out.
The real resistance is fighting against Trump and the establishment. Help us get investigative reporters that are going to investigate both of them. TYTnetwork.com/go.